All right, welcome to where are we? Wednesday, 22nd of May, 2024. This is an AET Alpha Edge technical look ahead. We're going to look at the Dixie here, see how risk is getting measured at the moment. So we're going to show you where we're at on the year structure here. So we are coming up on the strength of the early VWAP. I think while the market does need to hit this yearly PVAH, I'm just going to try and slink my way into a pullback on the euro here, coming up off a yearly VWAP on the euro. And so that would just be dollar down to try and to put in a baseline really in and around this 104 spot 63s, and then go for the yearly PVAH and maybe monthly VWAP. Yeah, I'm just going to mute that squawk. So it's really just looking to capitalize on potentially a bit of this imbalance pullback long for the Dixie. So just get into something with a decent support level coming in there on the euro. So not really looking to set the world on fire with that trade, but nonetheless, that's it. But for FX traders, do expect continual strength in the dollar for probably today, even with a pullback, because we're back inside of this monthly structure on the dollar. All right, that's FX sorted. VIX, don't really need to talk too much about this, but there is this sort of gap up on the overnight here, and we're looking at a weekly structure for the VIX right now. Really, the best information I use from looking at a VIX is: are we above or below the ETO electronic trade opening price? And that's really it. And then I just gauge, okay, well, that's our contextual level ETO, and then I really just see what the condition is like. Are we holding condition up? Are we holding condition down? Have we condition shifted from down to up and holding then and expecting further upside, or maybe a retest on ETO and then we go up? That's really the information I would use from a VIX chart. I'm not like these bigger sort of contextual areas. Personally, I don't really trade on them that much at all, because I'm not looking to have these huge equity swings. Okay, then moving on to SPOOs. Yeah, here we are. We're kind of holding that 1.5 right up, and we're trying to get that new all-time high here, but just can't get it, right? Just cannot get it. You're seeing that level there. Actually, sorry, we did get it for a split second in APAC yesterday at 3 a.m. But we're not able to hold or go for real big imbalanced up just yet. I think we need to kind of put in a nice clean baseline on the WPVAH, and potentially this 53.33's half to then keep going. Obviously there's this big weekly area looming here. I think, we've had this +1 pullback and then we move up. So, with this, you can have just these really kind of shallow tests and then go, right? But yeah, it's tight. My dad used to say it's tight as a nun's knickers. So, be careful out there on the SPOOs. Gold. Up, new all-time highs. What's the trade? Wait for something here against the monthly +1, I reckon. There is a nice day trade that's come in there. Imbalance pullback against VWAP, and down it goes. I did take a little bit of that, paid off quite a bit for it, but I can just see now I'm actually been taken out of the trade with a protective stop to scratch stop. So it's not really doing anything right now, and you shouldn't really expect it to. I'm really just trying to get into an imbalance down situation, potentially support on M+1. Probably turn on the weekly here just to get a bit of a granular look, see at what's going on. Okay, there you go. But I would expect this to kind of move with equities. Probably we're going to need gold to come down on WPVH 23.95s or the M+1, and equities then maybe having a bit of a bad one, and then in unison they lift. Right, maybe that's a correlation we need to look out for. And then oil, of course. Biden, thank you to some of the guys, Par was for letting us know that Biden is releasing another mill barrels out of the SPR. Of course, the US burns about 20.6 million barrels a day. They have about 18 days of supply left at about 360 million barrels a day in storage. So a million isn't really going to move the dial, but you know what it does get you is press, good press that you're doing something about it. And that's all he wants. Okay. So net oil under the cosh. Really nice trades yesterday. Both we got that lovely weekly WPVAH pullback long on the Nasdaq. The risk, we'll probably go back and have a look at the risk required on that trade. It wasn't 20 ticks, I'll tell you that for nothing. But yesterday, WVWAP short 1, 2, 3 tests, no dice. Okay, so a little bit of APAC, Uncle Charlie trying to buy WP Val here. He got handed a sick bag. Now we pull back into P Val. See this little nugget here, right? That we kind of shouldered just a little bit above the -1 on the week here. Sometimes, even though it rejects into a shallow pullback in an uptrend here, sometimes this little bit here, little bit of trade above the -1 can be indicative of what is to come, right? Is that the market might want to, do a bit of a shift back up. Now, I think 2 days in a row test on WVWAP means test broken on WVWAP, and we maybe, come back into test up at this bigger area here. Personally, I don't see that happening at this time, but you need to understand that there are a lot of traders who would actually see this as slightly bullish, right? Because the US are going to try and compress price back down towards 76, which would be the upper range of where they want to be buyer on oil to refill the SPR. So they're kind of gaming the market a bit. But look, as I said earlier, all we have is the technicals. That's all we got. You could have a 4-hour meeting about, whether this thing should go up to here and then sell off, or, so we're not going to do that. Technically, I still like the reference for the week, which is to be short this area, specifically the 79.30s and 79.60s down, and for a breach of these lower levels. And hey presto, if you get out the magnifying glass, largest orders on the entire oil book right now are at bid 77.24s and 77s. They are the largest offers, or bids on the book right now. Give you an idea of the current size there. What did I say? 77.25s. It's only 273 contracts, and then 205 down at 77s even. But I don't see anything of that magnitude on the offers above. So I think we trade down. We are imbalanced on the week to the downside here. So longs are 100% not what you want to be doing. Okay, that's an AET. Keep it tight.